The Werewolf of Ravenshade Hospital. The old Ravenshade Hospital stood abandoned at the edge of town, swallowed by vines and the whispers of forgotten patients. Its windows gaped like empty eye sockets, and the air around it always smelled faintly of rust and decay. No one dared to go near it, not since the stories began. They said the hospital wasn't empty. Kyle and his friends, thrill seekers with more bravado than sense, ignored the warnings. Armed with flashlights and a camera, they crossed the overgrown courtyard, pushing through the rusted front doors. A low groan echoed through the halls as if the building itself protested their presence. Dust motes danced in their flashlight beams as they explored the main corridor. Old patient files lay strewn across the floor, brittle with age. The walls bore deep claw marks, the kind no ordinary animal could have made. Sarah, the skeptic of the group, scoffed. "Probably just vandals," she muttered, though her voice wavered. Then they heard it. A guttural snarl, low and wet, reverberated through the corridors. It was followed by the unmistakable sound of claws scraping against tile. Kyle froze. The stories were real. "Guys? We need to leave. Now?" They turned to run, but the shadows twisted, swallowing their escape. From the darkness, two glowing eyes emerged, amber and feral. A monstrous figure stepped into view, tall, impossibly broad, with a muzzle slick with saliva. The werewolf of Ravenshade Hospital was real, and it was hunting. It lunged. Screams filled the corridor as they scattered. Kyle grabbed Sarah's arm, pulling her toward a stairwell. Mark wasn't fast enough. A sickening crunch echoed as the beast's claws found flesh, cutting his cry short. Kyle and Sarah sprinted up the stairs, taking two at a time. Blood spattered the walls. They burst into a surgical suite, its rusted tools gleaming in the dim light. There was no exit, only old cabinets and a single barred window. The snarls grew louder. Heavy footfalls approached, each one sending vibrations through the floor. Kyle frantically searched for anything, to fight back. His hands closed around a rusted scalpel. Useless. Then he saw it, an old oxygen tank near the operating table. He grabbed it, fingers trembling. Sarah backed against the wall, tears streaming down her face as the door creaked open. The beast stepped in, its fur matted with fresh blood. Its breath came in ragged huffs, yellowed fangs bared. It moved slowly, savoring their fear. Kyle did the only thing he could. He swung the tank with all his strength, slamming it into the creature's head. It stumbled, dazed for a brief moment. Sarah, thinking fast, grabbed a surgical lighter and flicked it on. She held it near the tank's valve. With a scream, Kyle twisted it open. The explosion tore through the room, sending debris flying. The walls cracked, fire licking at the ceiling. Smoke filled Kyle's lungs as he coughed, searching for Sarah. The beast's body lay twisted in the wreckage, motionless. They staggered out into the night, gasping for breath. The hospital burned behind them, taking its secret with it. Or so they thought. As they reached the road, a single, guttural growl echoed from the flames.